don't know also Uteminka.
I'm a tone kapa. Say, I don't know, say, Muhuna he, and now you guys are talking too much. And for that matter, somebody will see her as a champion, have to come in and spill fire on you guys. Civil society, a DNA moya, ababaye, adiswa mo my Ghana, my young queen. A baby, a tune nine, and I'm watching the nice badge.
Nice one. Playing the devil's advocate. Why are they? Civil society, we are not doing anything different. We're doing exactly what a civil society's page should be doing. To put the present government in check. It's as simple as that. To make sure, say, they are not shortchanging the citizenry, they are going by the rules and playing by the rules as well. They cannot conduct themselves as if they are above the law. So when they are in opposition, they are very happy what civil society does. Same way, NDC, when they were in power, they were criticizing civil society that they are aligned to the MPP. All of us were called names. Now the tables have turned, and very funny enough, you hear some MPP people saying civil society and NDC, they are in alliance. So it shows how well civil society is conducting itself. And somebody like Madam Elizabeth to even open her mouth and talk against civil society, it shows her level of hypocrisy. Unfortunately, he's such a typical hypocrite. I didn't even want to say anything about her because of Mami Penimo. But I'm saying it now that she's the very definition of a hypocrite, because she was in bed with civil society when we were talking about the way public finances must be scrutinized, and especially on Imani's platform, that she was a regular panelist on these discussions. 2013, 2014, all those years, she was there, being very vocal with civil society. Suddenly, civil society is too known. Yeah, we'll do that because you're doing it for the people, the voiceless people. And some of these things, and I keep saying, say, Ghana, the problems and the issues that all these governments, MPP and NDs, when they come to power, they try and conduct themselves. No, it hasn't even elevated itself to critical thinking. It's basic common sense. Say they think, say, we are all stupid, or they think they are too smart to get away with some of these things. And very funny enough, no, MPP for critical supporters, right? Said, why is their party doing this even at this time? When you know very well you're not going to get away with it. So civil society is not doing anything wrong. We're doing exactly what civil society organs should be doing, and to point out the cracks in the good governance structure that we have in place that is not fit for purpose. Let's look at this AGYAPA deal, for instance. Do you know the amendment of the law that they went to rashly pass? The amendment, for summarizing it, the amendment basically it removes the application of Public Management Financial Act. Say special purpose vehicle. This very important law of the land that is supposed to regulate as well as monitor and control the governance over any public institution that uses public funds or that is in charge of public funds. What the amendment across Parliament to put it in the MIF law, say this special purpose vehicle, they are immune to that. Is worse than the indemnity clause in the Constitution we are talking about. The amendment to the law indemnifies the directors. They are not accountable to anybody. No one can question them about how they run the special purpose vehicle. What is that? And we have people in parliament calling themselves members of parliament on the MPP side, and they endorse this amendment. Say, Opari, owe 1 million cedis. You owe corporate Ghana. You set up a subsidiary to look after maybe one of your valuable businesses. Now, you sign an agreement with the directors of that subsidiary of your corporate Ghana. Say, no, I cannot challenge you about how you run this business. You can do whatever you like. Ofriata Wesa, corporate Ghana in India, would he do that? Nanado Dankwa, corporate Ghana India, would he do that? All the MPP apologetics now all support to win. If corporate Ghana is their own, would they do that? It's not a matter of someone is a financial guru and a stock market guru nonsense. I don't care who Ofriata is, whatever he knows about the stock market. I don't care about that. If I want to know bloody stuff about stock market, I'll go on the internet right now and I can talk to Ofriata exactly what I know about the stock market. And it will not be far from what he knows. But you see, I'll quote you a very, very important friend saying, quote B by Henry Ford. Before Henry Ford, I'll quote you one by John Kenneth Gabriel in 1975. He said, the study of money above all other fields in economics is one of which complexity is used to disguise the truth or to evade the truth, not to reveal it. The process by which banks create money, it's so simple, but the mind is repelled. Minya, baby, I'm a Democrat, say, or say, the study of money above all other fields in economics is one of which complexity is used to disguise the truth or to evade the truth. That is all they do. They call themselves specialists in this field because they know very well, say, when they make the thing so complex, you think, say, they are so smart, but it is so simple. When you look at it by common sense, you see, say, it doesn't make sense. If you are so smart, why would you hand over your treasure to a company and then you create an agreement with those who are going to run the company? Say, you cannot question them how they run the company. You don't even have the right who determines their salary package. When they cause any malfeasance, you have no right to question them according to the laws of your land. And then you people sit down there and you tell us, say, so, Minia, you see, Unfos are only so smart. This is I'm so angry with MPP. Let me tell you something quickly to buttress the point I'm making. Well, say what they did to Ibrahim Mahama, rightly so, civil society won the NDC government. Say it borders conflict of interest. You cannot just hand over the bauxite deposit, huge bauxite deposit of the land at the 11th hour to your brother. I mean, it is insane. How you thought you were going to get away with it, I don't know. But rightly so, it has been taken away from him. But unfortunately, Ibrahim Mahama didn't use a shell company. He didn't register some dodgy companies in the your friends saying Jesse or BVI so that he comes in and collects your friends saying the bauxite deposit and they don't know who bought it from government of Ghana. He came with his own company. What these people are doing is that they want to sell 49% of the treasures of the people of Ghana to some unknown entities. Obviously, they are too smart and they are not stupid to let that 49% go to strangers, are they? They are not. They are not. So they are obviously going to buy this 49% themselves. And they will create shell companies to do that. Because the special vehicle that they've created, no, they didn't even register it in Ghana. When we were trying to set up an act to control our bauxite, no, the company that was created, the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Bauxite Corporation, no, it is registered in Ghana. It is under the laws of Ghana. It must be scrutinized by the laws of Ghana. This is a bauxite deposit that can be valued, if value is added to the bauxite, about $500 billion. Even that, it has to be scrutinized by the laws of Ghana. And then a Momako setting up special purpose vehicle and you register it in Jersey. Completely laws that are opaque, that you don't have the right to even know everything that's going on in the companies there if they don't want to tell you. And then you want us to believe, say, oh, it is for good intentions that we are registering it in Jersey. So, Minia, civil society must push and make this government so unpopular, say, Minia, whatever happens must happen. Obi Ghana enye obi dia. You know, at the end of the day, if people decide to vote, I will campaign that an election is a referendum of the incumbent. The same campaign I did 2016, I'm going to start it vigorously. Say, an election is a referendum of incumbent. If the incumbent is failing you, vote against the incumbent. Whoever you vote for, no, it's totally up to you. But I advise people to vote for Kofi Kranting and his what do you call it? And his coalition of independent presidential candidate, because our country needs to be rescued. It needs to be rescued. Unfortunately, NDC, all the Mahaman Swaba Bijna on atente hotarnito. So it is like the devil in the deep blue sea. So people must look for another alternative. And the other alternative is the independent candidate. I mean, all the way they are conducting themselves, they will talk, say, oh, these people, they are not experienced. These people, they don't know. You know, Henry Ford also added something. Let me finish with that one.
Yeah, before you bring in Henry Ford,
Okay.
who share the lifestyle and the civil society, the way they come in with facts, whether say any way crime for I know the NDC time it was the same thing. Imani was already, and people will come and challenge it. So, oh, these are not true. At the end of the day, you find out say at the corona, but we've seen so many civil society people coming up, and at the end of the day, no matter to no matter join the kakra, ako party na afi omo ahoden no eswate. Say we seen A plus and then in baby we can be a cabby. But when the young penny free it takes a while before we see the civil society as a money kakrabi. And senior imani no ni one or two we don't see anybody. Bibi abas ye so there are so many things as civil society I didn't come but probably only be court be a NT and at the end of the day when there's a change now say a joke akra.
No, you see, it's about the leadership of the civil societies. Some of them, they allow their affiliation, subtle or open, to influence the way they conduct themselves when government changes. Some of them go very quiet, a little bit, but some of us to keep talking the way we should. We keep saying it the way it is in the space, and for all the negatives that people will say about money, I have to commend them for especially standing up to this AGYAPA deal, because if you look at the pedigree of Himania, I was expecting them to actually support it, honestly, because Imani positions itself as a kind of a kind of globalist. They tend to support the free market nonsense, which I ideologically am against. I feel that when a state owns something, it is the property of the state in trust, of the people in trust of the government of the day. The people that are elected to be in trust of it, they must hold 100% of it to the state. I mean, there's no way you cannot hold 100% of our gold royalties and still find a way to make money out of it. It is just common sense. The only way you want to float some shares is because you want to make money out of it, and you want to benefit from the state, your friends, and the AGYAPA for future generations, the royalty for the future generation. So whatever you look at the civil society space, eventually, they come up because they are aligned or created by one party or another. No? When the party is in power, you see, say, they are not as active as they should be. So people know them. People know the civil society organs that are affiliated to one party or another, MPP or NDC, because they are not vocal when either of them is in power. Eventually, no, we will get there when civil society people see say they will vote according to what they are reading from the civil societies, because the civil societies are the ones telling them the truth. And the thing is, when
It,
these people come out and start attacking civil society, that's what people don't know. You make them even popular, especially when what they are doing is right. You either shut up if you're sensible and allow the civil society to talk. But the minute you create a confrontation with them, then people begin to wonder, why are you attacking these people when they are only saying something that we strongly believe in? So now, psychologically, you've made the people come to believe, say, when they don't know something and civil society tell them, they will believe them rather than you, because they can see what you are doing. They say you are only shooting them down because what they are saying is true. Into civil society will get there eventually, but the thing is, it's all about funding as well.
it's beginning to look like civil societies are as Mami in the West, disdainful of politicians and think all governments are corrupt. Was she doing the same thing when NDC was in power, or for her it was for a true purpose?
No, she was doing the same thing. That is why I called her the definition of hypocrisy, because the very thing that you were doing at civil society space, when another government was there, no, now you are criticizing civil society for doing that, and making and calling civil society names. So who wants to believe you? And the history is there. The stuff that you did.
Last week we pulled like Japaka Krabe kind of conversation, huh? And I said probably by this week, we are going to see where it will be going to. The same thing happened with PDS. They supported this, they challenged it, they even told us how much we are going to make from all these things. At the end of the day, the president came and told us, "Oh no, Kranas will name Horsey." Is it the same thing this one is running
Well,
to?
I have predicted this is the same way this one will go. I have predicted it, and I still stand by it, because if you look at everything, it's just like, is the president sleeping, or is he really in charge of what is going on? If the president read the amendment, and a man that wants to protect the public purse, you are actually disabling, removing any control that your government will have over a mere special purpose vehicle. Meanwhile, the people who created the special purpose vehicle, no, you can hire and fire them at will. But the special purpose vehicle they've created, no, you cannot do that to those people who are in charge of it. Who is in charge now? It doesn't make sense. So if the president really saw this and ascend, ascended to it, then it is sad. Our country, like the Zongo minister said, Zongo minister said, "Walai talai, our country needs to be rescued." Our country
But
seriously needs to risk.
looking at the whole concept of this AGYAPA thing and the royalty, is it because we are not making money out of gold? They also have Koko Jessica near the man will be not also for this particular moment, because it's like, oh my goodness, you see a box idea and find if you need the idea in from China for no use or whatever, and they give us some money so we can build bridges and roads. Is it the same thing that we're not
Um,
making money out of
I mean
our resources?
the bauxite integrated bauxite aluminium company in there. I support it because it's not the same. We are adding value to it. We are barter trading with portion of it. You know, where China doesn't owe any percentage in the company itself. China only gets to set up the infrastructure for Ghana, and Ghana operates its 100%. But because we are barter trading, what we finally get as the alumina or the bauxite, whichever one we want to sell to them, then we pay off with the money invested in it. I mean, it makes sense. That one has got nothing to do with Ghana handing over its bauxite to China. No, China doesn't own the corporation. It's 100% owned by Ghana. That is what I believe in. We need to set up strategic state enterprises, you know, that will be in charge of our minerals, valuable minerals. So this AGYAPA deal, if it is 100%, AGYAPA is 100% owned by Ghana, it can still make profit. What the Norwegians did with their oil, it is there on the internet, black and white. You don't need to be a specialist in stock market before you can see that it makes sense to do that. You are not producing anything. You are not producing an iPhone to go and float your shares on the stock market. You only have something that comes to you as a heritage that you know is going to come every year. So what did the Norwegians do? They rather bought shares in Apple, in all these companies that are making huge profit. That's what they rather did. And that is the biggest state fund, uh, heritage fund that is in the world. 1 trillion. They manage their oil wealth by buying shares. They didn't float it on the stock market. They own the Norwegian government owns it 100%. And this is there. You don't need to be an expert in this thing to see this common sense. I mean, if you're an expert and you don't see, say, why, and this today news for when they ask him, what did he say? Oh, we are center right. You're center right, so you need to sell everything that the people own. You are center right of politics, so you believe in the in privatization nonsense. So you have to sell things that the people will owe as well, the heritage of the people. So you see, the way they are going about this and the way they are making it look as if say, did they have a secret agenda? Everything points out to the fact that the conspiracy will be true, that they want to own the 49%. Some of them involved in it, they want to own the 49%. They want it very, very much so that registering it at the your friend saying, Jesse, will put the secrecy on it. If they create shell companies and buy these shares, the 49%, who is going to know who is behind those shell companies?
The man me busa sa in terms of say your resources near you know when will be a political leader and a party, they always talk about when they are in opposition, me you say. Is it that we don't know what the country have, or we don't know the coffers of the country? That's why when the campaigning is going on, they tell us what they are going to do without knowing where the funds will come from. Until they get there, they find out they cannot do it. Then they have to search everywhere. The little thing that is there, no, they want to take it and maybe try and see say more promises and some more kind of need to be a bit more.
Two things here. One, I don't think MPP, Nanado MPP, didn't know how government works. They've been in government before. Otan Okwedra no am in America. Before was fresh in government, but he did some pretty good things so far as running the economy was concerned. Although, also, our oil that he just gave it away for nothing, it set a precedent that has been going on. It's foolishness. The way we sell our oil for just 10%. I mean, nobody does that. Not even Nigeria does that. Nigeria doesn't even do that. Dubai wouldn't be Dubai if they were selling their oil for just 10%. So nobody does that. Norway, what they did was to set up some oil. No? What did they do? The first company that started doing their oil drilling was owned 100% by the Norwegians. They brought the technology in, and the country owned it 100%. And they employed experts to come and be in charge of the company to pay them. Now, supposing you didn't know, say you have oil. Now, the first oil by Cosmos, say now you have oil. Why are you still selling oil blocks for 10%? Why? Why? Are we okay? We now know we have oil, and we sell the blocks to people that they don't even want to use it, and they wait until you know what they do? They buy the blocks, they don't use it, they put it on the stock market, it gains value, and they sell it about 3-4 times more than they bought it from Ghana, and they go elsewhere.
Yeah, and make us. It looks like Sika. We need initially because all a year you did bounds is like we are looking for a bigger money beer. It will shoot us, and for that matter, whatever the person will use that what we sold to him or that the company, we careless. As long as we are looking for 300 to build roads, build bridges, we are good.
That's why we are being shortchanged. I always say something. Say, developing countries, democracy is not a right system for them. Electoral democracy every 4 years is not a right system for them. It has to be a meritocratic system, top to bottom approach system, based on merit. People who runs the state are based on merit. Democracy is at the local level. At the national level, it is by merit, meritocratic. So that you can have a long-term plan, 20 to 30 years plan for the country, so that you can plan to have a steady flow of funds to develop your country. Look, in the last 20 years, we have contracted external borrowing of over $120 billion. $120 billion. If we plan to contract $120 billion over 20 years, and plan say every year, 120 for 20 years more, how much is it for every year? Probably it is over 120 over 20, saying 6, right? 6 billion every year. 6 billion every year. What can we do to develop our country with 6 billion every year? Apparently, our country would have been like Dubai by 20 years' time. It's because we don't have a long-term plan. 6 billion can put nationwide sewage system in Ghana. Nationwide. Underground sewage system. The next 6 billion another year can put street lights on every road in Ghana. Every road. The next 6 billion can put a highway from Tema to Kumasi to Sunyani to Temale. The next 6 billion can do that. Dual carriage from south to north. So it's because we don't. The next 6 billion, we were looking for what? 2 billion for affordable housing from China. The next 6 billion, can't it build the number of 100 and 250,000 affordable housing we were looking for it to build? So it's because of this start and stop, we are not planning no long-term plan for our country. Ntobiaba or a very quick way to get money, chop some, create loot and share, and do some little things with the rest, and pretend as if they've done the country a big favor. And what do? They think about the next election, 4 years' time. So this is why we are where we are. And I'll keep saying, say, as good as I love the democracy in the UK, democracy as we are practicing electoral democracy for 4 years now, it's not right for a developing country. It's right for a system that is already in place, that institutions are working properly, so that even if government is in charge now, is in charge to make sure, say, the what is done now, it is continued and it is improved upon. We are looking forward to a government that they come into power broke and they want to fill their pocket first and do something for the state. Utio Chairman's interview, yeah, he was very, very candid. He said why politicians are corrupt. They are corrupt because Parliament has become a money spending organization now. Everybody comes there by buying their way into the system because they think that they come into Parliament, they will make more money there. And they are not Father Christmas. When people go into politics and they know, say, they are going to make money there, they spend so much, they are not Father Christmas. They'll find a way to recoup their money. And see, this is why these people come in and then they borrow and shortchange the country in the way that doesn't make sense, like what they are going to do now. They want quick money to make some 1 million or first only 500,000. They say, oh, they are called 1 million for the amendment that they took. No, who knows if they are even going to get that 1 billion? Sorry, and shortchange the country for our royalties with 49%. It doesn't make sense. They are going to buy it themselves, and the rich will become richer. A few elites in politics. That's what's going to happen. They are going to be richer and richer and richer and control the system. So Henry Ford said something. I'll end with that. He said, look, it is well that the people of the nation do not understand how our monetary system works. For if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning.
Yep.